All right, it is Thursday, January 12th at 5:08 PM. Let's get the meeting going. Roll call is, everyone is present except Mr. Joe Pulcini and Mr. Jim Green. Jim Green will be joining us late. And we'll let you know when he does show up. So at this time, we have an audience of citizens. If anyone out in the audience wants to speak, now is your time. And I need your name and address, sir.
My name is Dave Garo. I live at 84 Church Street in Kensington.
Okay.
The reason why I'm here is, just to end up letting you know that I understand that the reason for this meeting is that you are gonna consider the rates for the coming year. I'm sure you've all gotten your tax reassessment and know what that's about. I did call the assessor's department this morning, and the average reassessment percentage went up for residential in this town 21%, and commercial went up 14%. You don't have to be a mathematician to end up realizing that the mill rate is going to go down. But the thing that's going to happen is that most of us that are residential people and our golfers, that for residential going down, if you want to keep the same amount of money coming into the town, who's going to make up the difference? The residential customers are the ones that are going to make up the difference. The other thing that I would like to point out is that over the course of the last 10 years, there has never been a year where Timberland Golf Course did not fund money into the general fund. And I'm just wondering, when is it that Timberland Golf Course became a profit center for our town? That if I go to the senior citizen center and I play cards, I have coffee in the morning, whatever it is that we do, no one is charging me. If any of our children are playing on the playgrounds that have to be fixed on a daily basis, those people are not paying money into the town. Timberland is part of recreation. I would like to know why we cannot have a budget that tries to come as close as possible to a break even. And the other thing is that in the years when we're giving so much money to the town, why is it when our irrigation system goes, as an example, then we have to go and beg for money? Why is there not a general fund for Timberland Golf Course? So on a year that you want to replace Park Pass and that, and if you have the money, you can use some of the money. The rest will stay in the fund to earn interest for future projects. I realize the cost of it. Everything is going up. If we broke even last year, I could see why rates would have to go up, but I understand there was well more than $100,000 that ended up going into the general fund. I see no reason whatsoever of going up on rates, unless you want to go up on the rates for the people that are playing from out of town. That our citizens should not be, in effect, taxed again. Thank you.
All right, Dave, thank you. Anybody want to address? Go ahead, Jim.
David, your point, believe me, your points are well taken. And it has been a lot of conversation within our group, within the commission about the golf course, not being a profit center, because that was never the intent of the course. It's an amenity, and many of us think it's believe it is an amenity, and it's a town asset. My personal advice to you is go to the town council, go to a town council meeting. There's an audience of citizens there, and the more people that do that, then somebody will listen. You're absolutely correct. We did make money last year, but there has been times prior to us where they've lost money, right? And so they've had to cover it. So it's a give and take. The worst thing to be in being in the financial field is to become well, yeah, I just lost my train of thought, she's a special, not a special reserve, enterprise fund, I'm sorry, thank you very much, you're welcome, become an enterprise fund. Because at some point, you're gonna have to pay the piper when you start losing money, right? I mean, and it's great that you're, and I think now that if I'm not mistaken, Arosha and Saw can verify this, so it's talking about setting up a reserve account for times when we do need money to make improvements. There are a lot of improvements that need to be made there. I mean, we'll be the first to admit that there's a lot to be done. I think they're starting to, hiring a Saw, I think there's one aspect of let's get things back on track of where we should be and where we're gonna go. But I agree with you, I don't think it should be a profit center. I said we should be trying to make, as close to break even as possible. And yes, taxes are going up no matter what, but it's just, let's call it what it is, they're never gonna go down, right? And then unless you downsize and then, sell your house and go to a smaller house or whatever, but there's no way they're going down. That's,
Right. And also, Dave, I'd like to add that on paper, it looks as though Timberland did make a good profit last year. But on the other hand, a lot of the budgeted money wasn't spent. So in other words, we reserved money for a Ranger. We never had a Ranger last year. So there was money that wasn't spent, which contributes to why the revenue and expenses were like this last year, right? But the town is in the midst of purchasing a new dump truck and a Kubota tractor or whatever that is for the golf course. So they are bringing some of that money back in. But your point is absolutely well taken. We've said it all along that this is a town amenity and it should remain as such. And so anyway, thank you for your comments, and points are well taken. Anyone else want to address Dave?
Yeah, Peter, I had my hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Seb.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. Everything that Dave mentioned, I agree with him 100%. And we've been saying this right along, year after year, and we've been asking the town council, and I don't know why it keeps dropping. We asked for an ordinance meeting. We want an ordinance meeting. We want to get off this arrangement that we're on if we can. I think an ordinance change has to occur where revenues do not have to meet the expenses. All right, and this is something that was established back in 2017, 18, whenever we got together. And that needs to be addressed. That's the big issue here. Yeah, because we go through this year after year on the whole financial, and that needs to change. All right. I agree. At some point, we got to say no to the town council. All right. This is crazy. My 2 cents.
Thank you, Seb.
Yep.
Let's also put in the minutes that 5:17, Mr. Green has now joined the meeting. Gail, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something?
Sebi covered it. I just wanted to make sure Dave was aware of the ordinance that guides our recommendations to the council, whereby we are mandated to try to come up with rates that meet the budget. Just awareness, but hopefully he's aware of that now.
Right. Dave, you understand that, right? Okay. All good? Okay, I'm going to close the audience of citizens. Thank you. Approval of minutes. Everyone got the minutes from the last meeting?
Yep.
Any comments, omissions, changes?
Yeah, I have a comment.
Go ahead, Sal.
At the end of the meeting, let me go back to my notes here. I didn't know we were covering that tonight, but at the end of the meeting, I thanked Jerry for stepping in and taking the role of interim director.
Yep.
And that wasn't noted in the minutes.
Okay.
All right, so that has to be added.
Okay, we will do that.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, make a motion to accept the minutes, anyone?
Make a motion to accept.
Okay, second? Second. All in favor? Okay, all in favor. Okay,
I didn't raise my hand, Peter.
okay, I'm sorry, Jim Bugella abstained, he wasn't at the meeting, thank you, Jim. Old business, we don't have any, we can't.
We can't
unless
discuss
it's-
that. No,
unless
that's
it's
not
specifically on the
special
agenda.
meeting. The only thing that was on there was
Okay,
the clock.
new business, so 50th anniversary clock update, Gail, would you like to do that for us?
Actually, I was looking for Saul because I provided him with all the documentation, and I believe he had a meeting with Aroche, so I'm just looking. Saul, can you provide that update?
Yeah, as you said, Ms. Gale, I had a meeting with Aroche about it. I had a positive meeting with Aroche about the clock, and I just have some questions before we move forward and speak in front of the council. And I'm sure we can get through all those questions tonight, and really that's what it's about. So, Ms. Gale, you provided me that your PowerPoint presentation from your October council meeting. I thought I read there that your total donation was like 13,000. Is there a reason why, like when I asked finance, it's only like 9,500 now?
Yes, we had attempted to contract, and I guess town council felt we did contract with Connecticut Laser to do a laser light show, and we provided them with a $4,000 deposit. Of course, because of COVID, the event didn't happen, and we wanted to get our deposit back, and Jim Bugella, as the co-chair, and I spoke to Aroche, and he spoke with town council, and town council felt that it wasn't feasible to get that $4,000 back. So that's why we don't have the full 4,000 remains with Connecticut Laser, which is really a sore spot with both Jim and Jerry and me. I don't know how if we ever go back and try to get that money, or try to get them to do something for us, because technically they owe us, we have a $4,000 deposit with them. I'm not even sure they're still in business, frankly, but it's kind of a moot point. It's been so many years. I think we have to move forward.
You also said in that presentation that there was a value to our course, you know, by putting a clock. So what does the commission see? What value is it to our course? Like, what improvement value is it?
Aesthetics.
Well, I think first and foremost, we have taken donations from sponsors. And in a good faith effort, I think we have to provide the sponsors with some kind of accountability and celebratory gesture for their donations. We've taken their money. We've had their money for several years now, and I think it's important that we recognize their support, even though the event didn't happen. Timberland still had a 50th anniversary, even though we didn't get to celebrate it. And so we owe them that commemoration. We owe them that recognition. And the 50th anniversary committee worked very hard and had some input from, of course, the Golf Commission, but it's really the 50th anniversary committee that ran this, and Jim and I were co-chairs, but ran these meetings, and felt that a clock would be helpful. It would be a nice amenity for the course, keeps people on the tee times. A lot of courses have them. I don't know if anybody else add anything to that.
I certainly agree that we have to do something for these sponsors that have given us their money and their faith in us. And the clock is a great way. Jim and Gail, they worked hard on this, and I think it needs to come to a resolution. And we have the senior support, putting it in that primo location, and so yeah.
And it's something always visible.
That's right.
to everybody, which is
And
nice.
these sponsors are residential businesses, they're resident organizations, nonprofits. So, you know, we're doing this for our own. That's, you know, that's a big value there.
Yeah, Peter, in addition, you know, the $4,000, because the town council says they don't want to pursue it, well, we shouldn't be cut short with that. You know, they should, you know, if we need the $4,000, they should pony up.
What is the total that we're asking for, the council?
$8,770. Which was slightly less than I presented in October, because we finally have all of the documents, all of the final quotes now, which Sal has, I believe, all the documentation necessary for a PO. And Jerry, of course, got the quotes for the site to prepare it.
Okay.
Ms. Gale, when you were doing your research, or Mr. Jim, did y'all get like a warranty for this clock, or how long's is there a warranty for?
Yes, there is. It should be in some of the documents that I sent to you in the emails, if you look through them. I think, because all the literature is there, some parts, some are a year, some are 5. Again, I don't remember each and every one, but it should be in the documentation I sent you.
This
If
is
I-
a solar clock, right, Gail? This is a solar one?
Oh, really?
Yes, this is a solar one, yes,
Okay, it's twice a day via GPS, so you never have to change the time.
correct.
Okay.
Will there ever be a point where the town will have to fund maintenance because it's out of warranty, or?
Yes.
Probably. I can't predict the future. I mean, who knows?
Well, there's a clock in the center of town today. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's always 5 o'clock at the corner of Farmington Avenue and Porter's Pass.
I actually think it was on time the other day when I
they
actually
fixed it.
noticed it. They fixed it.
That's good.
That was donated.
Yeah.
Because when talking to facilities about that clock, they do factor that in their yearly budget because of maintenance work.
I don't think there's any maintenance
there
for a
to
few
maintain?
years anyway. I mean, what is there?
I don't know.
There's no maintenance initially. And it could go for 10 years without needing anything. Who can predict it?
Great, I like that answer. All right.
The sun's gonna come up though, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be vandalism, it
Oh,
could be a
that's-
golf ball hitting it could be whatever, right?
Golf ball.
Sure. Well, I hope you have insurance. I hope the course has insurance.
Have we heard back from the council since your presentation in October?
No, because we haven't gone to them. The presentation was in October as an intro. Then we got the final documents. Jerry and I and Jim Bugella got all the final documents together and submitted those to you. So now it's time for next steps.
Well, the next step is getting in front of the council sometime in February. And
Oh. Okay,
we'll support your sponsored plaques and put that on CIP. I think that's like 1,500 to 2,000.
that's an estimate on the plaque. That was in the scope of the project. That's kind of a minor detail. I really would like to get the council's approval so that the PO can be issued for both the site work that Jerry has gotten the estimates on, and the PO can go out to the clock company so they can start working on that.
There is a lead time. Do we know what the lead time
Correct.
is?
Depending on the other orders, it can be 3 to 5 months.
Okay, so we need to, February is a good deal.
February is a good
Yeah.
time for everyone. Now,
When's the,
I hope like some of y'all can be up there with me
We'll be there,
to, for some support or whatever, for questions. and-
absolutely.
Yeah. Did you get a sense from Arosh Sal that he was supportive?
Yes.
Good.
Very much.
And how about, might be worth talking to Kevin Delaney ahead of time so that you answer any questions he has?
Well, I've already talked to Kevin just to
Good.
confirm our funds, how much he needs, because he needs 500 to stay in there for future, I guess, work, right?
For the T account, that's
For
coming out of the T account.
It's a T account.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, they can go back and tell people, listen, it's time to re-up. I mean, that was the whole
Right.
idea of that T, setting that thing up.
Right, I mean,
We were
we have,
limited.
we have sponsors on those T signs
That's
that,
correct.
that we've given them, they
Free
paid for 2
advertising.
years and now
That's right.
they've been up there for at least 3 seasons.
Correct, but the whole idea behind that was, you know, either annually or
Right.
semi-annually, to tell them, listen, it's at a lower rate, obviously, but, I think we were kind of handcuffed on what we could spend that money on. Originally, we wanted to use that, how can I say this, as a, almost like a petty cash fund, so they had this ability to go buy supplies, because they were always robbing Peter to pay Paul and coming and begging, because they got, you know, too finite in how they were doing their accounting, and they were always running short. So listen, why don't you just do this, and that way you can actually do beautification number one on the tee boxes, the tee box itself, level it out, you know, not only just flowers, but the whole 9 yards. That was the intent. Somehow that just got kind of diluted, and that's not when it comes about this thing, so. Okay.
Do we have an alternate plan for the funds if the clock is not passed through?
Not at this time.
No?
We have looked at one item, but everybody was really in favor of this, feeling it's the most appropriate thing. And again, banking on the fact that, you know, the golf course the last 3 years has made money. And so it's time to pony up and put some of that back into the course.
Yeah, we're not asking for much.
No, like what Ms. Gale said, the funds you need now is lower than what you said in October. So the clock is 9,400
Right, originally the
Or
clock
not
was
yet.
15,000.
and
Well, that's like 23 we were talking.
Well, it's in the site work, the electrical and all that stuff, which they don't need to do.
We don't have to do that.
They don't have to dig up the road, nothing anymore.
Oh.
so we'll move forward with it and get on the agenda for February. Because, you know, you have my support and Arocha's support, so we hope we can get through it and get it for everyone.
So
Good,
when that
good.
happens, just make sure that you email me or whomever, and so we can get the word out to the commission, we should be there, okay, for support.
You got it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Saul, when is the next town council meeting in February? Do they meet the 1st and the 4th?
First Tuesday, first and third, I think, Tuesday.
Yeah, so if any way you can get that on the first Tuesday, I'll be in town. Otherwise, I'd love to be there in person.
Okay, we'll go for that first Tuesday then.
Great. Thank you.
Anything else on the clock?
That'd be the 6th.
Hearing none? All right, like to talk about the golf rates at this point in time. Before we do that though, Mark is with us via Zoom. And Mark, on behalf of the Golf Commission, obviously, our deepest condolences for your dad.
Yes.
Armin was an integral part of Timberland and we loved him dearly, and we're all saddened by that, and our condolences, my friend. And you're a trooper. You didn't have to be at this meeting, by the way, but thank you.
Great American.
I appreciate that, everybody. I mean, you all were his friends. He loved everybody up at the golf course. So we had a lot of good years, a lot of good memories. So, you know, thanks for being his friend.
Was easy. That was easy.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark. All
Yep.
right. Saul, you want to drive this?
I can start it.
Okay.
Mr. Dave, you want a sheet?
No, I have to leave shortly.
Okay. So, you know, when myself, Mark, and Jerry started talking about rates and, you know, what we need to do for 2023, residents were front and center of our thoughts. So with that, yes, there's a little increase for residents, but there's a lot more increase for non-residents. Mrs. Seb mentioned in the last meeting how, you know, things went up for y'all, for your residents, so please don't think that we didn't put that into factor because it was our main concern, all right?
Thank you.
So for resident rates, you know, we kept it at around 3%, 4%, but for non-resident rates, it went at least 6%, in some cases, you know, more than that. So again, between myself, you know, mostly Mark, who was kind enough to help me through this process, and Jerry, that's how we've come up with these rate proposals. I can, I guess, share it on the screen.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And by the way, Saul, thank you for including Mark. Last year, was a little different. So it was nice to get all the heads together and come up with this. So thank you guys, appreciate that.
Well, for any future business, I like working as a team. The commission will be more involved more than ever. So will Mark, and so will Jerry. So I'm always open ears, and don't feel like I'm one way. All right.
All right.
Dave,
Dave,
no, that's okay.
sure. Turn your chair around so you don't hurt your neck.
There's
Here.
a lot of copies.
I got another pair of glasses if you need one.
So to speak about this ordinance on how expenses and revenues should be the same, we try to make it as comfortable for us as possible, right? And personally, I'm not very comfortable when it's just zero, like balanced out. On the screen and on our sheets, you'll probably see a profit of around 24,000. We brought that down from 50,000.
Yeah.
Again, just thinking more about you residents and not going crazy with the increase. I don't think 24,000 profit is much. It's more of a buffer because we're in a weather dependent business. You know, when you had beautiful weather all year, like last year, you had max games, you know, on top of max rounds. The year prior, you had a lot of rain, you know, it may have not shown as much.
We still did okay.
But you still did fine, right?
We made money.
But this goes back to how our expenses were used, right? I know there was a good portion of expenses that weren't used last year, and it might have been the case the year prior. This year, I'm using all the expenses that I'm allotted. So that's how I'm planning, and you know, that's how we came up with these rates.
Okay.
Me using, no, not me, the golf department using all our expenses, not holding back
Yep.
100,000.
Good.
Okay, Saul, I had a brief comment before with you regarding the driving range. We're budgeted to make, or we have a revenue possibility of 25,000 for the range, okay, right? And you're saying that balls and mats and all that stuff is coming out of supplies. Supplies is only 4,500, right? So does this mean we're gonna, and I will say that, you, are more than welcome to contact the president of the men's club. The men's club is looking to help if needed with the driving range. You know, what the amount is, that's between you guys, but there is, there is some money there to help. Has there been any talk about a new mat?
That's gross revenue there. The
Concrete?
25 grand is gross revenue.
That's gross revenue.
That's gross revenue.
That's right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah, that's gross, but, I mean, we're gonna need balls, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anything that costs.
And
You
so-
need walls,
and-
mats, concrete.
So I mean, I don't see any expense for the driving range, so that could chew up some of that 25 grand that you're talking about. But, so what are your thoughts on, are we leaving the driving range as is right now, or?
When I had a meeting with, is it Jerry P?
Jerry Paradis?
By
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
When I had a meeting with Mr. Paradis, he mentioned that the men's club were hoping to donate, or whatever the word you're looking for is, but
Yep.
that they were planning on donating anywhere from 10,000 and less, right? And,
Or more.
but to me, that donation, I think I would welcome more next year, with the changes that we're doing this year. So my plan for this year is we've already contacted some folks for new range balls. We're already trying to make a plan for the hitting area. It may not be concrete or very new, but it would probably be more like new mats.
Be better than what we got.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said it'd be better than what we got.
Yeah, right. You know, cause with any price increase, you know, we have to provide a better product.
Right.
So, like I said in our first commission meeting last month, it's gonna be in phases. Phase one would be more new range balls and new hitting areas and some aesthetics around the range tees. Let it be cutting down some trees or maybe opening up some of the area where you could have some short game possibilities. So, you know, Jerry and I are, you know, we're talking about the improvements that we can do. And yes, so where that is in our budget, you know, I think that number that you see around 4,500 is enough to do phase one.
I think we need, in the future, I think we need a separate category for golf range expense, so we know exactly what we're making or not making, on the
Sure.
range.
And this, I mean, 25K, that's quite an estimate.
Well, actually, that's a good point, because we had a meeting, and I think it was, probably about 3 meetings ago,
Yeah, it was in December.
and this actually came up.
Mhm.
And I think it's prior to you, so it has nothing to do with you, but Jerry was adamant, on record, saying a minimum of $35,000.
I mean,
Gross. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Just hear me out. So, if the town based their decision on that and didn't do due diligence, this is all gonna come out, because that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because I think later on, I asked
Yeah.
Mark
The next
specifically,
meeting.
what did you make? And Jerry was adamant, the minimum, 35,000 plus is recorded. And Mark, I said, it wasn't even near that, Mark, is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct, especially with the outings being optional. I want to say it was around 20,000 for 2022.
So that.
And I mean, I told Kevin Delaney this when we met about, when we were talking budget. That's why he changed that projection to 25.
Okay.
Okay, good, thank you.
That's good, that explains a lot, because I was like, all right, where's that coming from? And so, Sal, and this has nothing to do with you, and we're just dealing with numbers here, right? I mean, that's all we're looking at, and thank you for giving me this to us. So you have a $25,000 profit in there right now, right? Rough, just 24.6, rough.
Yeah.
Your proposed budget is for, 1.525, correct? That's what you're saying is proposed budget you have in there?
Yeah.
The actual budget is 1,520, right? So it's another $5,000. So now you're talking almost $29,000 of a buffer. And I know, you're not saying that doesn't seem like a lot, but we have been under the position we have taken all along, right? It's come close to zero as possible, because that's our charge, correct? I mean, that's in the ordinance charges, not to make money, not to lose money, just zero it out, and then, let the chips fall where they may. I mean, it's just, so now we're gonna kinda get past that. Jerry had I think last year he had a profit of what, $5,000 or something to that effect. I mean, that's what was built in. And so to me, that's, okay, so fine. If that's your buffer, but if our ordinance says just to cover costs, coming up with a 20, say, even a $30,000 profit is like, and it's not, I'm not coming at you, but I'm just voicing this. It's like, well, that's not what the charge is. You know what I mean? That's not what the ordinance says. So do we go back and say, all right, do we adjust things down? Do we, and we could play with this thing any number of ways. Use last year's actuals versus average. I mean, there's any number of ways we could play with this thing to make it come out to what we want to come out with. Using an average, fine, we can deal with that. But do we try to come close to zero or not? And that's where I'm coming from on this thing, because that's what the ordinance actually states. You know, I don't know, that's just, anybody have a comment on that?
I get what you're saying, Phil.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna have
keep trying
only
to
break
change
even.
that, and it never goes.
And it never
through.
changes, so it's
And
like,
every
okay.
time, every year we bring this up, and,
I wasn't here.
Oh, no,
I
I know,
thought
but
that's all,
I'm
that's
just
all, you're
giving you
just
a
walking
issue.
it.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not something that we don't try. It's just the council's not 2% on some of our ideas.
So these
So
rate,
maybe you can help.
I'm sorry, these rate comparisons, these are all from 2022.
Yeah,
right?
they haven't, no, our neighbors haven't posted their new
Nobody,
rates.
so we don't know what the
They're
rates are.
going up. Everybody knows it's going down, listen,
They're for
listen,
sure
yeah,
going up.
everybody's going up.
Yeah.
You know, I got another question for you though too, which is, this is, and as I go through this, so, we all use electricity, obviously, right? So who's your generator? You guys go on the Pura website? The Pura the Pura right, the Pura website, the state website, so you can pick any generator
Oh, yeah,
you want,
yeah.
right? Why are we using Eversource? I'm paying 16 cents, they're up toward like a quarter, a kilowatt, right?
24, yeah.
Is it 24 cents? It's 24 cents.
0.24, yeah.
I signed up with someone, I'm getting this, they're supplying it, right? I'm paying 16 cents. Why are we using Eversource?
Did you just do that?
I've been doing this for a long time.
You got this new
Yeah, I just did it, yeah.
You did that once, you changed, and then it shot up.
Well, I mean, I'm locked in for a period of time, you know, but it's up to you, you have to stay diligent. I mean, that's.
It just,
Yeah, and Jim, to add to that, one of the things we brought up in the past is, you know, doing solar. You look at all these other places around town, they're going solar. We're missing the boat here, folks. And that's something that the town has gotta wake up. I mean, solar will lower your expenses. Do nothing to lower the expenses other than to cut out certain things that we need or we don't need. And that whole philosophy's got to change. That's my, that's it.
Are we talking about the, you know, like, whole golf course?
Yeah, electricity, they have electricity here, you know, their number, and it jacked up by 10 grand, right?
Yeah,
Is
but
that-
I don't.
but that was that, no, that was generic, that was electricity, I'm
That
sorry,
would have to be
$1,000.
That would have to be townwide.
Town, I
to
don't know,
make that change.
but I don't know.
Right.
I mean, and it's, but I'm sure they're looking at this thing, right? I
One
mean,
would hope.
You would think, right? Are we looking at, you know, the fertilizers, are you looking at generics now?
yes, Jerry said he was gonna,
Yeah, but Jared also said he'd never do that.
but he did say at the last
Yeah,
meeting
we
that
did
he
at the
would.
last meeting.
Yeah, at the last meeting, so why did he change his mind?
Right.
And I know right now, we're not doing generic.
No, not,
In the future, it will be forced to look into it, because I'm not saying a fan of it, but that I work for courses where they use some generics. I know when I had a meeting with our supplier, they were 50-50 on generics, on how it, yeah, how
You mean-
effective it is and
yeah.
how it benefits a golf course.
Does this supplier sell generic products as well?
Yes.
Okay. So you got an unbiased?
Yeah.
You think you got an unbiased?
I think
answer?
I've gotten both sides of the stories from.
You know
positive-
courses that use it and courses that don't, right? I mean,
Well,
obviously, right?
where I worked at, you know, in years past, they use both, from name brand and generic. So depending on what you're spraying and where you're spraying. I
So what's
know.
your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts?
Oh,
Do you-
I'm open. He was in my interview, and I brought it up.
No, but what are your thoughts on the generic? Do you think it's worth saving the money? If we're getting a little bit less of a product on the fertilizer side, is it still worth the money?
I mean, if you're using generics for the side of the holes, you know, versus, you know, I wouldn't recommend to use it on greens or tees or fairways,
Okay.
where it's very important.
use both.
You use both, you know.
Okay.
You maybe use name brand stuff on your prime spots, and on the side skirts of your holes, you're not wasting expensive stuff.
Okay.
Because generics, the pros of it is you can spray more, right? Because you're getting it for less. The cons of it is it's not as effective, so you have to spray more. So, but it's really mindset that our superintendent, needs to have. He needs to be a little more open-minded about it, and which he will be, and he is. But the idea just came a little late for this year, for this coming year, right? So.
Get already ordered.
Correct.
Yeah, you gotta- you
We
have
have
to
to
order
do
ahead of
our
time.
early,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have to do early orders to get rebates.
Oh, okay.
So, and, you know, I'm not putting this on Jerry, but he will be open-minded about it, because we already started talking.
So I have a question. Jerry was an interim superintendent and he was getting an increase for that. Has that been reduced now that we do have a director of golf? Do we know that answer?
Everyone's wages, is being reflected on that new budget. How, you
Yeah,
know,
but
I'm sorry, I'm
I-
gonna backtrack. I don't know the answer to
Okay,
it.
can we find out?
Sure.
Because he's no longer, I love Jerry to death, but he's no longer the director, he's no longer acting director, so if he was getting a 10% kick or something like that, or
Did you
10
get a stipend?
grand
No, stipend.
stipend for that,
That's right.
then, you know, that should be reflected and reduced in the budget.
Hey, Peter,
Yes,
Total
sir.
budget?
Yeah.
just real quick. I mean, I'm just reading like the narrative or whatever next to the line items.
Yeah.
I think that was taken out, but also it looks like there was a stipend for pager as well that was taken out according to this.
Right.
There, yes, I can't read that, it's so damn small.
It just says remove pager stipend.
I got 2.5s in my pocket.
I'm looking at the budget. The other one, not the narrative, I'm sorry, the regular budget
Yep.
sheet on the bottom there. Saul,
Yeah, it was.
or is that Peter? Whoever's there you go.
Workbooks. Right. On the workbook, there was a worksheet that had.
Right there, it's in yellow.
Oh, it says remove pager stipend.
Yeah, okay, good, thank you.
Well, I'm guessing that both stipends are probably removed.
Excellent.
the,
Okay, listen, is there anything on these rates that are absolutely blaring out at you?
Yeah,
I just,
Because let's start there.
Okay. Can we start with the expenses and then go to the rates, or you want?
Do
Because
that.
I got just a couple comments on the expenses, just very quickly, and then we can get to the rates. The bank charges are, we could say roughly $34,000. Are you looking at a new POS system in there? So are we anticipating they're gonna go down with new POS system?
We haven't come up with the actual plan for that, but one of the plans is to have that not on us.
Yeah, oh
On
no, I
the
understand,
customer.
Yeah.
So
that makes
yeah, it
sense.
would go down quite a bit.
So there's a buffer there, if that's the case, I mean, cause otherwise you're not gonna, the POS system is, you're gonna pass along the charges, correct? That's the whole
Yeah.
idea behind that thing?
Right.
Did you have the meeting with them yet?
Yes,
And how's it looking? Is it
Great.
looking like we're gonna probably do it?
more than probably.
Okay, good.
So is that a CIP expenditure, or is that an OE expenditure?
You,
The computer system?
No, it's in there. It's
So that's what that
budgeted for.
$34,000 is a computer system? Because you have computer support, and we have bank charges, computer support, you're at 17 grand, right? So that's the whole new system in there, you added the POS system. It cost-
And what
Right,
system
that's
is this?
under, is that customer support?
That's
Yeah.
support. But then down below, you also have bank charges of 34, so that's consume.
We haven't taken the bank charges off yet because, Kevin Delaney hasn't, come up with a final answer to it, like if we could do it or not.
Pass it along.
Yeah. Or if we have to just put.
Previously, he said no.
oh, for cars?
Yeah, previously he said it can't be done, but then he did change his tune.
He changed his
He did
tune.
change his tune after that. So,
I think I would know more about it at our next meeting next week.
Because technically, that could be a buffer.
Yeah,
A huge
correct.
buffer. I mean, you're
Correct.
talking,
It's-
you're up to
there is
$50,000, $35,000 is $35,000.
Correct.
You know?
it-
Is this for the credit cards?
Yes.
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 I mean, they do it at the town hall if you pay,
There's a
Credit-
fee.
if you use your credit card,
pay a fee.
Yeah, we went through this
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
saying, because you don't have the budget in house, how are you gonna, you know, take care of it?
Well, that better be recorded.
I don't think, we're not gonna have that same problem, huh?
I don't know. I mean, it's recording. So, you know, and this is a prime example, right? So the budget isn't finalized, and it's probably gonna get cut. Because these don't get voted on until April, I believe, right?
May.
March or April, May.
May.
So
This-
anyway,
This is for, not the fiscal year we're in, this is for next fiscal year.
correct.
So no matter what, you're always gonna make money. If you think about it, you're always gonna make money because you have 6 months. Of that. You know, I mean, listen, it's a numbers game. Let's call it what it is. You're always gonna make money because you're always gonna raise the rates, right? So you have 6 months of new rates versus last year's rates that were.
And the new rates are going after the current budget.
That's
They're
correct.
going toward the
To
current
the
budget.
current-
Which is why we said in an ideal situation, you'd raise the rates in July. But
But that's not gonna
you're not
happen.
gonna do that
You know,
mid-season.
No, it doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't like that.
And that's why I keep looking for this, the seasonal P and L, right? I mean.
I'll give it to you.
I know, I heard it. You know, but it's like. You know, it's like, it's like a shell game. I mean, no offense, it's not you, but it's just the way, the way it's a shell game. It's just call it what it is. It can count. But, all right, then.
From
That-
my understanding, you know, we're not the only one raising rates,
No, everybody.
so
Right.
Correct.
we're just staying in tune with our neighbors.
Yep.
All right,
So we're good with the excess.
But in regards to the profit that we're showing. Which increases are, like Mr. Peters said, it's eye-opening to everyone.
To me, range, you're not gonna, you know. I ran, I'll give you my numbers, so, and 'cause I ran the two, but I just made some changes here.
Yeah.
And I didn't, it was what you had the first time, and I'll flip them to I'll give them to Peter, you can flip them to everybody, but. You know, I even using the actuals, I still end up showing a profit of 12 grand, but you end up using the averages, I think the averages are a little bit less, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's, I didn't, as far as the rounds go, use the averages for the rounds, correct? But I lowered everybody's and I said, listen, it's, how much do you have to make? That's really what it comes down to. you know?
Okay,
And I understand that the range has to make, you want to cover your costs, but you charge $10 a bucket. I mean, no offense, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I mean, it's like Stanley was, for their large bucket, it used to be, it was $12, right? But at least it was heated, right? You had new mats, it was enclosed. We got nothing.
So you're saying 10 is too much?
I think, once you get to the point where you want to get to it, you're phased in, fine, then you can raise it. To me, that makes sense. But, right off the bat, and then
Yeah.
as far as the increases go, I mean, the leagues are your bread and butter, right? I mean, let's just call it what it is. Leagues are bread and butter.
Jim, the 11, I agree with you. The $11 is steep because we don't have a lot to offer up there at the range compared to these other courses. All right, and I think the 11 steep. I think the small bucket is a little steep too. I think it should be no more than 5. That's my thoughts on it. I agree with you. I think those numbers are out of line for what we have to offer the public.
Gail, you have your hand up, go ahead.
Well, I thought we were gonna, if we're going around to say if there's any one thing that stuck out, for me, the only thing was I was a little surprised in the second version that a shotgun tournament with less than 100 only went up $1. And I think, it's not a lot of revenue because we had about, I guess, 374 of those, but I would think that, and Mark would have a better sense of this, but to only go up in $1 for a tournament of less than 100 seemed low to me. And that was my only one that really stood out.
Yeah, I agree. That can go up. That can go up probably $3 or $4. Just to stay in line with everything else.
I say it's 26. I wish I should have sent this to you guys, because I went up $3. Night golf, I went up $5 because how you look at it, night golf, they tear up the course. And it's, I mean, it sounds great and it's good to attract people, but there's beer cans and there's litter everywhere. And you know, people are taking the cars through the traps. I mean, it's,
Yeah, they
you know,
are the ones.
yeah, it's,
And it's the maintenance thing of
but yeah, you have to, and that costs money, right? And usually that's on a Friday night, right, or a weekend. So somebody has to be in there on Saturday, working to clean up all the mess, right? That's, I thought, as far as, you know, I'll give these to you, you know, I'm giving this all a, you know, something I sent, I'll send this out to you guys tomorrow or whatever, if I saved it. And then, you can play with it. You know,
Well,
it's just
these numbers
thoughts.
have to be done by.
I don't think the timeline is soon, it's just,
I thought it was February, yeah, right? That's what I remember.
We have another meeting.
yeah. I mean, I'm very open to changes, right? This isn't like,
Oh, no,
set in
that's-
stone.
Well,
I know,
That's
like,
why we're here.
This is, this is the base, and then
Yeah.
we talk about it, this is the process, so. I
the
mean,
kind
at least Mark has had a chance to look at these numbers as well, because I mean, he deals with them every day. You know, last year he didn't, so we had a big disconnect last year. And, you know, so we're a heck of a lot closer this year, right out of the gate,
Thank you
so.
for that. Seriously, thank you for that.
Peter, I will add that the biggest challenge, and I've been doing this now, you know, it's 13th time I've done this, was the budget. You know, the budget went up, I don't know, almost $200,000, you know, and you got to find a way to make that to match it. And, you know, that's why there's so many, you know, you just got to come up with a number, honestly, you know, for each one that's reasonable.
I mean,
And I mean, I think they're all kind of unreasonable based on what we've done in the past, but we don't really have a choice here,
exactly.
you know, so I'd say that was the biggest challenge in this is meeting the budget.
But you know what, I mean, and this is, I'm sorry to say, but if we have a really terrible year. What do you do? No, well, no, I mean. We can actually go back and say, well, you know, people weren't playing. I mean, let's not talk about weather, if the weather's fine and everything stays the same, but the numbers go way down. There's only one reason for that, it's costing too much. And that's where we can go back and say, you know, this is the ordinance that you guys put into place.
Well, are people not gonna play because it's expensive, you know, you can't afford it. That's the only way you can do it.
You price it.
Hey, Saul, I got a quick question. You know that miscellaneous special line item? Is that incorporated with this, the rate schedule here and the revenues? You know, like when we discount for aeration and we discount for Father's Day, Mother's Day?
He's got a 30% discount on that one.
no, but I don't have the numbers in the budget.
Well, there's another probably $60,000 that's missing out of the revenue line then.
No, it's not, listen, he's had his miscellaneous,
Where is that on here?
you had it originally, yeah, the old one, you must have changed this already, so.
But now it was just zero though.
You had, there was a 30% thing that you discounted it for, aeration. He did discount things for aeration.
I don't see that anywhere here.
So
In
I
the
saw
new
that in the
one,
other ones.
in the one I sent this afternoon, it doesn't have,
Oh, okay.
because to me, that was just a number, I didn't know how to factor it
They
in.
could
so-
quantify that one.
Yeah, but that's missing and those are, I mean, that's probably 3,000 more rounds that are missing out of all this and a good chunk of revenue.
3,000, really?
Holy smoke.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is-
Well, I mean, we did a lot of specials, you know, throughout last year and those just they're not an approved rate. They're like a discount on a rate. So it goes into like just one lumped category.
Mark, can we get that hard number?
Yeah. I mean, I
I'll email it.
have it here. Give me a second here.
I'll email it. And then what you guys have.
Why, I have a question. Why are they, 18? Oh, and where they have the 57 cents? So why make it just
Say it
like
one more
round
Where are you?
57?
With tax, it's rounded, it's around.
Okay, all right, I'm just thinking of people.
Peter, I can't share my screen, can I?
You can if you want, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I got it here,
I don't know if I'm that savvy.
On the bottom, you should see on the bottom where it says share screen. If you move your mouse, a little
yeah.
toolbar should come up on the bottom.
Mark,
Yeah, have what you want to share open.
Oh, you know what? I can't do it. It'll take off the one that's on there. So I don't want to do that. But I did want to, I have it here. The number is, so in 2021, these miscellaneous specials like aeration was 35,000 and change. And last year it was 67,000.
Wow.
whoa, that's what, rounds? No, not rounds.
No, that's
Dollars.
that's revenue. That's
Wait, wait.
revenue. It 4,000 rounds last year lumped into this miscellaneous category when we discount rates. You know, and then the year before it was 1,500 rounds.
That's missing entirely from this one?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's,
Was that?
I don't know. Is it? I don't think it's in there.
You didn't, well, were those included? No, was that, Saul, did you include those in your number of rounds? You know? Did you? include-
It's just, it wouldn't,
All right, so the rounds are.
it
not-
wouldn't be.
So this is, again, this is understated drastically. Okay.
I mean, I think realistically, because again, we're gonna probably discount for aeration and stuff and continue that process, like. Yeah, we don't have a specific rate for that. It's a discount, but it should be, the total should be in there,
Yeah. somewhere
the
in there.
average total.
You have to account for it, right?
In 1 year.
Yeah.
We did over 4,000 rounds, and then the next year we did 1,400 rounds. So
Yeah,
when you have a big jump like that, it could mean two things. One, you're giving away too many specials. Or two, you're not calculating. it properly.
Last year, we didn't have any
Consolidated. Whoa, last year we consolidated, remember that?
Last year, we didn't. Mark, what did we have for specials last year? Aeration,
Yeah.
we had a Mother's Day and a Father's Day special.
Veterans Day.
And I want to say, yeah, I mean, we had throughout the year, we had various ones. But I mean, the whole point is you don't have to discount going forward, but that should be accounted for in the projected revenue because it has been revenue and it's
Right.
not there. You know, so those rounds aren't there.
No,
Okay.
it has to be reflected in the revenue, otherwise you're underestimating your revenue. right?
Yeah,
And so, and then you're gonna have the, you know, the, how can I say this?
67,000. I can't see that. It just,
Aeration,
Aeration.
aeration, that seems like a lot of money.
well, we do a whole week of it twice.
Twice.
30,000 a week, huh?
So what happens in the,
Absolutely 30,000.
Wow.
what happens if you don't cover your budget? Give bed here, Peter's scenario, what happens? Technically, the commissioner can go to jail, right? A state commissioner, technically, that was in the, that was. This was a comment that we, you know, do your best to cover what you have based upon what you know, right? I mean, but things, unforeseen things happen. Why wouldn't you just use the actual figures from last year? Why are you using an average?
Like you said, you can use the average or the actual,
You're right. So,
but
you
you're
know,
still putting numbers in to cover your budget.
correct.
Granted, yes.
You know,
If you want, I'll use that.
if you use actual, then what,
But
so,
it's still gonna have increase.
but maybe not as much.
Like I asked 20 minutes ago, where is it too much? You said the range, right? Ms. Gale?
The range,
Ms.
the
Gale
range,
said,
I would say,
right?
outings, I would also say that, you know, are we pricing ourselves out? You know, with even with leagues, I mean, leagues, that's money up front.
That's guaranteed.
That's guaranteed money. So if you really wanna raise them, you know, to the level that we did, I mean. You know, I'm not saying giving things away, but it seems like that's an awful lot.
350?
Yeah. Around. And you're talking the league is what, 16, 17 weeks, right?
Mark, what do you think?
About the leagues,
Yeah.
I would just say that, you know, in the past, we've discounted leagues based on our normal rate. I would just recommend just not having it be higher than the normal rate, but just having it be the regular rate. Like if you're a resident 9-hole, that's what the league rate is too.
I agree with that one.
Just because, I mean, they are getting they're getting tee times each week, so they're getting a benefit up front, but like, so we don't have to discount the rate, but I don't think it should be higher either,
You would
because they're
fill-
guaranteed.
They weren't there. Would you fill the T sheet if the leagues weren't there? Every
No
day,
way.
Guaranteed?
We'd fill it with season pass play and get nothing probably.
Right.
There you go.
There you go. So,
I mean, that season pass holders don't want to hear that, but like, you know, we wouldn't fill it.
you're right.
Well, wait a minute, because we're still, even with the proposed rates, it's still cheaper than
Cheaper than your
than a weekday 9.
What is?
The
You know what,
weekday
I-
9 is 21,
I was looking at the, mine.
and the resident, league resident is 20.
Well,
So
like
it-
I said, I would suggest they be the same.
So then it's going up
You're
even
telling me to
more.
go up more,
Yeah, so then it's gonna go up even
Leagues are 20.
or we're
Yeah, I
going-
know the original one had it higher, so
All right, so it's
excuse me, I didn't really look at this one that closely, but I think it should be the same going back to that.
I would need time to go look at this. thing
Yeah,
again.
some of them.
Can we?
But once again, you got $50,000, $60,000 missing from the overall revenue here that I'm gonna go back to then, you know, with all our specials.
So if
That's
the
not
ca-
accounted, it's not accounted for in this projection.
If that's the case, then why raise the rates for significantly for residents? Cut them a break.
Where did we raise it significantly?
Well, I don't know, 50, but I mean, you listen to these.
Yeah, the most is $1.50.
No.
It's a lot less for residents than it is for non.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Up in the bucket, that's fine, nobody's got a problem with that.
Season passes average out to be like $2 a round, right?
No,
If we can't get.
there's no way, people keep saying that. Mark, is that true?
What's that?
If you look at all your season passes, what's the average cost per round?
For the person that used it the most, we've done this report in the past. It came out to like $4 for 9 holes.
Right, so, but on
How
average,
many times do they?
if you take that's an outlier, right? If you take on average.
Yeah.
What's?
I mean,
Rough,
I have no idea, honestly. I mean, maybe what, $12, $13? I don't know. If you use your pass 40 times, generally you get your money's worth.
Right.
And then it's gravy from there. It's all discounted.
Yeah, I don't think those rates are bad, the greens fees for residents or non-residents. I really.
well, I don't know, think about Dave, we're gonna get a tax increase, right? Obviously, the mill rate's gonna go down, but we got, so do you wanna come a little slack, that's really what it comes down to, that's just a thought,
I also want to keep in mind, we're not bartering anymore. So we're going to get 2 additional tee times a day that we're going to generate revenue for that we never had. Because we used to have to give Golf Now 2 tee times. So, I mean, there's things that we are going to get that we haven't in the past it's tough to project that because we just don't know. But you got to think rounds would go up a little bit. Because that's 8 rounds a day, essentially.
You think we're gonna lose a lot of non-residents?
I mean, here's the way I look at it is there are plenty of golf courses that are $80 for 18 with a cart that are in Connecticut and they are busy.
Yeah, but
Can we justify it with the experience and the conditions? Then they probably would pay that. I mean, I don't know.
Is our course worth that, knowing that the traps are in the conditions they're in, knowing the fairways are in the condition they're in, seriously.
Well, that's the big question. I mean, I don't think so compared to, our peers. I don't think so, but I don't also play everywhere. So you probably all play more courses than I do around the state.
What is just your that charge in the weekend?
I've done.
They're up there.
But like a Lyman Orchards charges $80 for 18 with a cart.
Also, the car ain't pretty line with the other day.
$20 to walk, no.
Yeah, but during the season, they're $80.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, they're $80, easy.
So don't, you can't take winter rates. you.
You can't
No.
avoid-
Unless you go to Portland, they're 35 to walk.
Right.
Right now?
So if you're
Most
getting
of the
that,
time,
if Lyman is paying $80 in the summer, we should,
But we're not like one.
we're not the second.
No, we
Not
don't
yet.
have apples. We don't give out apples.
I think that's where I have to gain a lot more experience in
So-
how we're enforcing.
A non-resident, proposed non-resident, 18 with a cart is only 65.57. With these rates. I don't.
Is that with or without tax?
Well, you just
Also,
have-
don't forget the capital improvement. That's not included in all this.
That's not included in here, 67.
No,
79.
Or-
$70.
according to the bottom, it's not included.
you just-
Well, it isn't, it shouldn't be, because it doesn't go to operating expenses, so it doesn't go. It shouldn't be, it never has
Yeah,
been,
but I just wanted to be clear, it's not.
correct, you're right. But it doesn't go towards operating expenses.
Yeah, but you gotta add $2 to the 18 that you see there.
So we're looking around $70.
70.
Yeah. I personally don't think that's unreasonable in terms of an increase. I don't think that's unreasonable, but I would like to see, obviously it's gotta be justified. We
Yeah.
can't just keep offering the same product. We gotta get better.
You kill the fund. How do you even spend the money? I mean.
And Mark, for that, I'm not sure we're there yet.
Who will improve it? That's really, I mean, that's the whole.
Yeah.
Not, I think we got some work on the range to do. I think we got some work on the traps to do. Bunkers.
Yeah.
You need more manpower. I mean, let's call it what it is. You need more you need more manpower.
So the bottom line is let's just call it 50K. Okay, even though it's 67 last year, I don't know if we're gonna have a year this year like we had last year, but let's just say it's 50,000 unaccounted for in this revenue. Plus the 24. Right, so that's $74,000.
Why plus 20?
Well, because you're
you're
showing
showing
a
$24,000
$24,000 profit. So with your 24 and we'll just estimate it at 50 for this with the specials.
Well, plus another 5 on top of that because.
So that's $79,000. So that's huge. So keeping the 24 the way it is, but taking the 55, and we don't even know about the transaction fees.
Yeah.
For the
So-
credit card fee.
So what do you do with the money? All right. And like I said, the song, I mean, we were talking and so.
If this,
We end up with a surplus. What do you do with the money?
if this were a reserve and the money stays with us, I'd say, go,
Yes,
let's do it. Keep it the way it is.
but.
But the money goes
But-
back into the
but-
general
but-
fund and we don't know, and we don't know,
That's why.
and we don't know.
Peter, look what we gotta do with the clock. We gotta beg to get some extra dollars for the clock.
Sebi, that's my point.
Yeah,
Yes. So, I mean,
But I thought Kevin said that, they were talking about being able to put some money back into
well,
timber.
Yeah. When you see it happen, then.
Some of our.
and this year they're using the dump truck and they're using the Kubota as a, hey, see, we're doing this for
Yeah,
you,
but
even though that was our money to begin with.
Correct.
Okay, so that's gonna be.
That was our money that was,
They're gonna
right.
pay for that.
So. Listen, I mean, this is a fabulous starting point, and I don't think these numbers are way out of whack. I really don't. I just think that
I agree.
maybe they can be just fine tuned a little, maybe a little, but I really, I personally, I don't think they're crazy.
No, I figured that for a resident pass, you only have to play 25 times.
Right. And we're getting new carts. We're getting brand new carts this year.
So you are getting cards? That's a definite.
Yeah.
Peter, if we go line by line right now, quickly, could we just go, will it reflect on the bottom line?
What's that?
If we go line by line on the revenue projection sheet. And like, we just say, okay, we're good with that, there's not that many line items. will it reflect on the bottom line? For like
On
a
the
total?
spreadsheet? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, any changes will, yeah, so this is a formula, right, down here? Okay, yes, it does, Mark.
Well, I mean, it won't take us
that-
long to go down this thing and see what we think is too much and talk about it. If we want to do that real quick, I don't know, just a
You know what?
suggestion.
No, we can do that. It's only 6 o'clock.
I know.
Yeah, we need a process really to get through this because we're all over the place.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I think if
pick a
we just go
process.
one by one here.
On my line. Everybody okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah, we shouldn't belabor on any one of these, though. Let's go through them quickly.
Sure.
No,
Right.
go through them. And just know that you got probably a $50,000 buffer with that miscellaneous category. You know, so if anything, we're probably gonna go down a little bit on some of them.
So I was gonna add the 50 for, just make a line item special, so that's all.
Oh, yeah, right there. And I mean, trust me, that's realistic as an average of the last 2 years of that specific line item where it's all bulked together.
Somebody knows Excel. It's me.
What's that? When you're ready.
That would be nice for the range.
Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, good. So that's
What are you up to, buddy?
74,
75, right?
74, 1.
Actually, it's gonna go up even more because your budget's overstated by about $5,000 anyway. It's 1520. Not 25. There's another $5,000 push in there.
Yeah, well, you know what? I would say let's leave 24 and the $5,000 alone for now. And work with this, what he's got on the screen.
Yep.
Comments on the passes? I'm okay with the passes personally.
You think so?
I think they're all fair.
Yeah.
Man,
Agree.
I was gonna say go $25. I don't know, but
I think they're
And,
fine.
and I agree too with you, Jim. I think the $25, it should go 11.25.
well, I had yeah, I had 1125. And that's just a thought. So if you went 25, 25, 25, I had 0 for the super senior. I mean, it's only 4,
Yeah, that's.
God bless that, man.
I think the super senior should. be-
And it was 15-15 is what I
I think
did.
we should keep it at
Because I wanted, the juniors, listen, you want them there, right?
We do, yeah.
Right? I mean.
So just go 25 across the board and maybe, I don't know. I think even for the juniors, just 25 across the board.
For the seniors, super senior, that should stay the same.
Leave the super
Yeah.
senior 25 across the board. That's fair enough. And the super senior is 0.
Which one?
Yeah, say, well, there's no increase.
Oh, no increase,
Leave it at
right.
200.
Right.
Okay, one block out of the way.
Across the board seems fair. All right.
Okay. Greens fees,
So that's pretty good, man. You and I are almost the same level. That's good. Huh?
You did it.
resident greens fees. I don't
$1.50
see,
Wait a minute, wait.
I don't
Sorry.
see that as
No,
an
you
issue.
have $1.50, right? $1.50, $1.
Yeah, I mean,
A buck.
it's $1.50. Now these,
Well, look at where the majority of those rounds are. They're
yeah, they're the weekend, senior
hole,
9
senior,
and
or
weekend
weekend.
18.
Yeah.
So why don't you make
Yeah.
weekend go 50 and $3, no?
Huh?
Where are you?
We're in, greens fees. Weekend 9 and 18, so
Keeping the season pass non-residents. all the
we're all
same.
past those. That's 25, it's 25 across the board.
No, we're not there yet, Nancy. We're on greens fees for the resident. Yep.
Residence green fees.
So what are you saying, Jim?
I like, what Saul did I'm fine with that. I think you should go up a little bit more on the weekends, because that's prime time, no?
So go up to $2.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's too much? I think $2 is fine.
A weekday senior 9, Mark, those are the guys like from the other courses that come in and mess around with us. That's not our,
That's non-resident, Peter.
yeah,
We're not.
oh, no, I'm talking, well, we had 2,141, we have almost 2,000 rounds of weekday senior 9.
Yeah, that's the resident. They're probably in that senior men's club that plays Monday, Tuesday. That's probably a good majority of them.
And they don't get a pass.
A
No,
lot of them do.
no.
All right, so
A
a
lot of-
dollar, I
I'd say-
think $1 is
yeah.
fair there
Yeah, I
for
think
the
so.
seniors, no?
No, all the way through, I think what Saul did is fine, up to the weekends, and I think the weekend rate.
Yeah.
The weekend rate should go up a little bit,
Instead of $1.50, you should go
at
up to
least
$2.
$2 and $1.50 or something like that.
Okay, so make it.
Would that put us out of?
Nah, I mean, that's
peanuts, right?
prime time. We always fill it.
Peanuts.
And then you wanna go up to,
So that's, so it's $2, $2 weekend 18
Go to 38
and $1.50 weekend 9. You got that?
He's gonna go to, if he goes up to $2, it'll be 36.50, right? And then, and $2, and what's this, $2 and $1, what is it, $2 and $1.50 or something like that? Is that what it is? $1.50, so, and the other one is,
Yeah.
22.50.
yeah,
All right, season pass is non-resident.
Okay. Where do we compare to others on this one? I don't have that song.
Some don't even have,
yeah, last,
Something does, New Britain does, Stanley does.
Non-resident for Timberland is $14.50, Stanley is $13.60. Rockledge is $16.35, Keeney's $15.99.
All right, so they're going up. So it's 200,
But these are from 2022.
yeah, all right, so it's 200 too high. 16.50, do we, if we make that 1,600, a buck and a half?
this is where Mark and I get a little nervous on how much we increase.
Okay, man, it's fair. Because you don't want to price yourself out of the market, right?
Exactly. We had a good
Yeah.
conversation. I want to price out.
The non-resident.
yeah.
Yeah,
So then why not go to go up $100 on the adult unlimited instead of $14.50, go to $15.50.
The reason why I went up a little more for a season pass, maybe so we can get more à la carte. But if
Okay.
that mindset is wrong, then it's wrong.
How many seen,
22.
22?
Yeah.
can you run any numbers, Mark, for the season pass holders for the non-residents? I'm sure you got that broken up between resident and non-resident, right?
It's right
Yeah,
here
well, there's
next to it.
23 of them.
That's the
Around
22 number.
The rounds.
22.
Oh, how many rounds they do? I don't know. I mean, I don't have it right now for sure.
Last year we had 23 non-resident adult unlimited non-resident season passes.
Yeah, but how many, it's all about the rounds.
So we're talking $4,600 increase there alone if they all re-up.
So why don't we try like $100 increase, that we're saying, Peter?
Fine on that.
Just
A
go
what?
to 1,600 and 1,400 on those two. I mean, I think,
Sounds good, so $1.50, right?
yeah.
And your points are well taken, do you price yourself out of the market? And then you're right, that is a tough call, right? That's a crapshoot. The juniors,
We own non-issue.
Really?
no, junior unlimited and junior restricted.
We're talking 15 total passes there, so it's not much.
Okay.
Last year we were talking 9 total.
Yeah, the 6 and 3, 9 in total.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I'm looking at the average, my bad.
Senior, how about senior restricted? Leave that at $1.50 or leave that, or make that 100?
We got quite a few of those.
Now, those are the ones that all those guys come from other places, right?
No, that's
Yes.
The passes.
Yeah. Oh, those are the
Oh.
passes. No, we're
We're
on,
on passes, no, we're still on.
we're
passes.
still on passes?
Those are
Oh.
generally 18-hole players. I mean, I know some of them do just play 9, but like the majority of those, they play 18 holes.
So you wanna leave that at $1.50 or leave it at 100, put it at 100?
I leave it at $1.50. I would.
Leave it at $1.50, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the way I look at it, if they don't get a pass, they're still playing Timberland because I think they're regulars, so they're gonna probably pay the fee. And who knows if it comes out one way or the other.
All right,
Okay,
now we're on greens fees for the non-resident. So you're going up $4 on the 18th. That's, what do you say, Mark?
weekday, that's a lot, no?
That is a lot.
Yeah, I
What do
mean,
you
it
think, Mark?
just,
Should we go up $250?
see, the thing is, like, that's actually $45 because they capital, and then if they ride, that's another what, $24. So we're looking at, what is that? 15, is it $59? No, $69 for 18 with a cart on the weekday.
Yeah, plus taxes, you're gonna be up to 72, right? It's somewhere in that area.
No, it'll be 69 because that cart fee is 24 with tax included. So it's 24 and 40. Yeah,
Oh,
69.
lost you.
Frontier?
No, Frontier is good.
It's in his basement.
I'm in my basement. Can you hear me?
Oh, Comcast.
Comcast, great.
It's really
Am I still there?
Should we do the same $100.50 increase for it?
Well, I know, I don't know, I wouldn't go up $4, but I wouldn't go up $1. I'd go up $1.50 maybe.
Wait. So the greens fees marked, non-resident
Yeah.
weekday.
We lost
Do
him.
we have it yet?
Hold on.
Do we have the rest
It
of
says
the-
I'm still here.
Gail, are you there? Oh, we
Hello?
lost. Okay, here he is. Mark, you back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still here. We good?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
So we're talking about the weekday 18.
So the weekday 18, weekday 18.
I think it's a little high. I think it's high.
All right, so if we went up,
41,
if we went up $2 or $3 on that?
Let's just call it.
Just go up $2.
Well, I don't know.
$41,
So, I don't know.
$2 for 18 and then, and a dollar.
And then-
for-
And then $1 for 9.
What, Mark? How many? 2?
2 for 18 and $1 for 9. That's what I would do on those.
so that's
We'll s-
So just
Yeah.
cut those in half, so.
So,
10,
the dollar, yeah.
weekday
Two
9,
and one.
On a weekday senior 18, that's a biggie.
Okay, yeah, that's a dollar, right?
No, $3.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
There's a higher demand for
1,452 of
that.
those rounds last year.
oh, really?
Yeah,
We'll do the same $2 for that?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And then weekday senior 9 is a dollar, right?
Yes.
Yep.
well, it's 275 here.
Yeah, you have 275, so what are we gonna go up now on the weekday senior 9?
That's another big one, 1,463.
You said a dollar?
Oh, senior.
No, I wouldn't go up to $1.
Buck and a half?
I would go $1.50 anyway.
Well, we only went up $2 on the other one here for 18.
Yeah, it was the 18.
All right, so a buck and a half.
So that would be 27.5.
Yeah, 27.
All right.
Now this next one, that's our peak rate.
Yeah, Mark, what do you think? $2, $2.50?
$2.
$3, what?
Just go 2 and 1 on the 2
Yeah,
for
$4.
18, 1 for 9.
well, you're past me, okay.
Yeah, we're on
So what do you
weekend
want to do?
18.
Okay, weekend 18, Mark, 18 and 9,
I think you just do a $2 increase. That's all.
what?
Go ahead, repeat, because you got lost again.
Oh, $2 increase is what I'd do. for
On
that.
both? On both?
No, $1 for 9 and 2 for 18. That's what I would do.
Okay,
Two and a buck 50, because we were a buck 50 on the other one. Weekday senior 9. was a
Yeah,
buck
so
50.
that's what, 27, 20.
Okay.
Two and a dollar 50,
20.
right? $2 and a dollar
I li-
50.
I like that. I think
how
that's
we doing on the
reasonable.
bottom line?
59.
What's that?
5,000.
We're still ahead 59?
All right, so now. The cart fees. So we got new carts, so that's a selling point, right?
Absolutely a selling point. And you know, we got, no offense to Mark, but I think we're gonna have a lot more oversight because Saul's gonna be there and Mark just didn't have the time to do it. I think we're gonna have a lot more oversight, so I think we can.
Well, we have the
I think
GPS.
I think they're
too.
gonna be cleaner, they're gonna have the GPS, they're gonna have sand in them all the time,
Wait, the GPS,
the chip.
the chip, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so there's a lot of benefits there. I think the customer experience is gonna be improved as well. With uniforms and all that good stuff. So I'd say leave them, man.
That's fine. That's fine by me.
Do you have any disagreements with my statements there? Mr. Saul?
I have a question about the carts. Or
Go ahead.
wait till the next meeting.
Does it pertain to the rates?
No.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
wait.
All right.
Can I just chime in
Everyone's good
real
with the
quick?
carts? Everybody's good with the carts?
Mark, you okay with those rates with carts?
It's frozen.
Can
You're
you
frozen
guys
again.
hear
What's
me?
going on?
Is that us? Or them?
I mean, I'm here.
My house might-
No,
Sebi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Now
I
we-
can.
Sebi
Yes.
can hear me.
no, I can hear you too now.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear us before?
Yeah. Yeah, I could hear you guys the whole time. I've been in here. I don't know
See,
what
we
happened,
Lost them again.
but Sebi can hear
They
me.
won't give, they. Well, I can hear you too
It's
now.
it's us.
You can hear us.
I
I
asked,
think it's you guys.
I asked them to give me a hard line. They won't do it. Maybe we could use Saul's computer and get it hardwired instead of going through their wireless.
Yeah, I think it's on your end.
Yeah,
It is.
most definitely.
It is.
It's definitely this wireless. There's no question. All right, Mark, are the
Okay.
rates okay?
Yeah,
cars?
here's my suggestion. For the cart punch card, I think you need to go for 9 rides. You know, you get 10 rides for 9, price of 9 instead of 8. I think that'd be a game changer right there. I think that'd be good.
Wait.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right now, it's 10 rides, 10, you pay for 10,
You got 8.
you pay for 8, you get 10.
Yeah, I think you should pay for 9 and get 10. I think you just get 1 free.
Okay. You don't.
Yeah, but the other one's a better deal.
I know, but it's still a deal. You get 1 free.
You have new cards though.
New cards, that's what we're
So
talking about.
this- what do you
Just-
say, you-
I'm just saying,
Okay,
you
alright.
still
they're
get 1
Mercedes
free.
ones, they're just like your car.
Huh?
They're Mercedes.
Yeah.
And they come with a little boot with
I mean, I just think you still get 1 free, so it's still a deal.
And it's kind of what we had anyway.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is.
Okay.
We've
So,
done that in
see
the
that,
past.
All right, so you're gonna make it 8 for 10,
9 for
or
10,
9 for 10, I'm sorry.
And
9
you're
for
gonna
10.
keep it at this price?
yes. Yeah, I don't.
Well, no,
I-
I like the 110 better,
The price would have to change.
no?
For what?
So it's a 10% discount versus a 20% discount.
The price would have to change. You gotta multiply 2257 times 9 instead of 8.
No.
Okay, let me figure this out here. So how much is a cart?
Just multiply
Uh,
2257 times 9.
It's the same price. no matter what.
2257 times 9,
I'm
yeah.
just getting less.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. I mean,
She uses the card all the time.
96.
It's still a deal.
It is.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
6.92 per cart.
This is without, is this with or without tax?
Well,
This is without, right?
yeah, what's it gonna be with tax? 24?
It's 24 with tax.
Yeah.
With tax, what's it gonna be?
22, well.
With tax.
2257 times 1.0635.
635.
Come out 50.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
about
Mark, can you hear me?
It'll be 24.
I can hear you, Seb.
Hey, I'm looking at the sheet here. It says, a cart fee for single rider 18 is $30.
24.
What if you have somebody that's a threesome?
Those are the ones where they wanted to ride by themselves and take an extra cart, even though there was room in another cart.
So then that doesn't affect the guys that are by themselves and they want to ride. And the other two guys are walking.
No, that's, if there's 3 walkers and 1 rider, they're gonna pay a regular cart fee. The single,
Got it.
but if there's 3 walkers or 2 walkers and one guy wants to ride by himself, he's the one that's gotta pay.
Got it.
Wait, if there's 2 walkers, one goes.
2 walkers and 2 riders, that's not allowed, right? So it should be two walkers in one, two walkers in one cart is what we
Oh,
want.
yeah.
But if one guy wants to be by himself,
That's different.
he
Yeah.
pays the single rider cart. The other cart rider should not get penalized for that, because
Correct.
he's okay to.
There's only a threesome, he's not paying the double.
Yeah, how true is that?
You know,
Somebody
Well,
at the
stop.
stop,
There,
Got that covered.
it wasn't very monitored last year.
was it
At all.
to see people with 3 guns?
Exactly. So this year, it'll be,
Yeah,
okay,
so
again, this
stop.
year we'll have more oversight.
Saul's got it covered.
hey, Peter,
Yes, Sebi.
yeah, remember we talked about a while back, we talked about, using the example where there's one guy that's riding by himself and a couple other guys are walking.
Yeah,
Why don't we have another category where the guy pays like 15 or whatever to put his bag on the cart? Rather than pushing or carrying.
Now, you don't want to get into.
No, you get.
a bag transport fee.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what? I
why
mean,
not? I mean, we're nickel dialing it for everything.
I mean, some people just, so, I personally wouldn't have a problem if somebody wanted to hang a bag on a cart, but he's walking. I mean, he is walking. And I don't
Just
think
a
that
thought,
happens too often, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't mind putting $10 up to, or 15 if I wanted
Point
just
well
to walk
taken
and
though,
get the
Seb.
extra.
New category.
Yeah,
Bag transport fee.
Yeah, there you go.
hey, you know how many guys do that? There's some guys that do that out there.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
sure, but I mean, it's not gonna affect the bottom line at all, so.
Get more dollars.
All right,
I want to go back to this
Be creative.
part,
hold on, guys,
the punch cart.
go ahead.
A lot of the people that take it are seniors.
No, it's juniors too. A lot of the young people like carts. Believe it or not. I can't do it.
Do they get punch cards? Do they?
A lot of the seniors.
The- the-
do.
I see it in the punch card.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think that. Well, it's $14 and you're paying 11. And you're getting $3 off. Okay, we'll leave it.
Okay, all right, driving range.
5 and 9.
There's no tax on driving range, Paul, right?
No, 5 and 9.
No.
5 and 9.
5 and 9.
Yeah,
And if we have to increase this, as you start phasing in things, that way you give yourself a buffer for next year.
And hold on, we had the pass,
How
there
many
were only 7 passes last year.
yes. Adult passes.
So-
passes? Oh, no, 7.
7
Yep,
range passes.
Yep. 7 passes.
Do we have a category for range passes for juniors?
See, here's the thing is I always included a
should.
range pass
Yeah,
when,
but they
when
don't-
they,
Why?
Well, when you get.
Why
like
not?
Can you
in
hear
high
me?
school, They don't pay.
The high school doesn't pay, but you.
Yeah, but there's juniors that aren't in high school that aren't playing, that aren't on the team.
can you hear me?
So,
Peter,
Like Brennan, for instance. He's a junior. He's up there hitting balls every day.
and you don't
Mark,
pay.
I can hear
He's
you.
not on the team, but he's a
Yeah, but
junior.
if I was
They can't
forces
hear
or
me.
somebody, or a stand-
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Now you're still hitting balls.
I don't know why they can't hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you now.
you can't hear me though.
I could hear you.
You can hear
They're
me?
just ignoring you, Mark.
Hey, the juniors, see, here's the thing. If they signed up for PGA Junior League, I included a range pass. So I worked it because I own the range. I worked it into my own programs. So now that I'm not doing that, you could probably do a junior pass. Did they hear that?
Yeah, we heard that. And that's what I'm talking about. What do you think's a fair deal for that?
Yeah, what'd you charge for that?
Why can't they just go on the cart?
Yeah, well,
I mean, it-
Good.
I can't think what.
Why can't they just buy a
Again,
cart there every time?
yeah.
I
that's
just
what I'm
included
with
it
you.
in
They
the
could.
PGA Junior League fee. So I don't know, maybe like $150 or half price of an adult.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
not
terrible.
no, I disagree with that. I
They
disagree.
go a la carte.
Just let them buy a car.
You go 5 and 9, and then you're gonna jack up the prices as you improve the court thing anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if you're looking at different target areas, like you just kind of did that, like a short, whatever you're thinking, you know what I mean? something like, that's gonna cost money to do that, it is, and so. I wouldn't shoot yourself, with just yet. That's just my thought, that's just my thought.
All right, so, okay, so how about the range season pass? Why don't we just call it a range season pass and take the word adult out? This way here,
Yeah.
it's the same for everybody.
Yeah,
We'll just do the same 300.
Yeah.
I would do 300.
300.
You could do that. I mean, there were years that
Oh, you
I
went up
didn't
to
even,
400 bucks?
I didn't even sell a range pass some years.
So, I mean, obviously, you're not a range player.
Hey, Peter,
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake for the revenue line. I think you gotta go up to 400.
What?
What?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah, explain.
because I mean, people share those buckets. I mean, you know the deal. You know what people do. They take them, they put them in their car.
I'm big on all.
You know,
I
no,
mean,
Mark, I mean, it's such a
let's
sticker
be
shock
honest.
for,
They
what are we gonna
took
get for
advantage
that
of it.
extra $100 though? I mean, that's the thing. You know,
Well,
we're
if you're
still,
try-
we're still
hey.
gonna be waiting on tournament days. We're still gonna be off of, you know, less than ideal conditions.
Go up to 350.
So,
You can raise it next year, Mark.
I definitely say that once we show them that
That's your favorite.
that things are improving, and even Mr. Saul said that before, is that, you know, we go up, we show them that we have something to go up in price with.
Phase in.
I
All right, well,
don't think.
I
one more
wanna
year's
be-
gonna hurt.
I want to be quoted as saying, I think that should go up because you're going up on the large
Point
fee.
taken.
So
Well, why,
I
should
just
we
want to
be
be,
halfway, go to 350
350.
for now?
Yeah,
And well, we gotta
I
show
mean,
something for this, guys. We got.
Yeah.
if I still own the range, I would have gone up to 350.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Mark. We're gonna try 350.
Let's just do 300,
No.
because I don't want anyone to have expectations of like this grand new range.
Well, you got to do it, right?
So
who knew that?
You're making improvements.
we're going $1 more for small buckets, $2 more for large buckets.
Yeah.
And the same for season pass.
No, everybody's gotta pay. Disagree, this is where I disagree with you, I mean, I know what you're saying, but you are gonna make improvements, right? Even though it'll be phased in, and that's fine, but they have to go up, so $350.
Yeah, and I think more of your first phone call should be to the Mets club. To see how much, I'm serious, because if we
That's still
know-
very
if we know we're
reasonable. That's
getting a couple of bucks, and then we could start the process sooner than later. Like, put a slab down and get them at, if we're gonna buy all new mats, and we're gonna end up getting a single slab to add a couple more stations, we're throwing money away.
So.
I don't want to be in debt to any club my first year.
I got you. I got you.
So what do you want to do? Keep it the same?
It doesn't, you don't know listen, you don't know anybody, there's no strings attached, that's all there is to it.
No.
You know what I
You
mean?
don't, and listen,
It's a pretty tight unit.
when the men's club makes donations, they never ask for anything in return.
The donation for 10 grand.
Oh,
close to it.
you know what?
What about the hallucinator?
Lucinator cart was $4,000. Yeah, the Lucinator was good.
There was something else, did something else too, they didn't make it to you, but the men's club and the
Yeah.
ladies club actually donated to the.
all the rakes.
The golf team.
To the golf team, so, and it's still.
Yeah, I mean-
And he also did to the clock.
Yeah, you know, the only thing we ask for is recognition. That's it. I mean, that's the only thing we've ever asked for, is just
We
recognition.
have a pretty big men's club.
Yeah.
And they're pretty
But-
dedicated. I don't count them out.
Listen, I get his point though, too.
So,
I get it. I understand that, and that's respectable. So let's just work it out.
You're not did it.
If we're not gonna make a major change, then we can't go up $100. We just can't.
But you're gonna, but you're gonna make a
Get
change.
out a year to just see what they're like. You know? you get a
I'm
better
okay with
feel.
that.
That's the plan.
Yeah. No, makes sense.
You know what? We say. Way to stick
So
to your
what
guns.
should we do? Keep it at 300?
350.
No, 350. We are getting new balls and
Yeah.
Okay.
new baskets and.
All right, outings.
This is where I didn't really wanna have too much of an increase, because outings are a big
Yeah.
part of revenues,
Yeah.
and it's like.
I
3 months.
agree.
They have a lot of them. Mark
Where,
has
what's
lots
the
of
bottom
them.
line right now, so?
65.
In the plus, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're nickel diamond here. I'm gonna stick by my comment on the night golf. I do think it's a loser. And there's too much. You gotta pay for people to come in and clean up afterwards, because it is.
But if we go up, then that number's gonna go up.
That's true.
So you know what? In all honesty,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I say we go in with this. I mean, everybody's comfortable. We went line by line.
We're not
Everybody,
done, we're not done yet.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is we're pretty much comfortable for the most part. So if we go in with this and we're showing this much over, then
Nobody's gonna
we
see
should ask the town that, how about a little Monty here? If we prove ourselves, that money, that comes back to us next year, all of it. Boom.
How many nightclub events do they have?
Only a couple, 3 or 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, not many.
Military, I said, I wouldn't even go up on the military. Leave it the way it is.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, military, yeah.
Leave it the way it is. In leagues, your bread and butter, man, and it's.
Mark's point is keep it the same as a resident rate.
I'm okay with that. Or do you want to?
Yeah,
Maybe a discount because you're getting paid up front, right? I mean, you're getting paid.
you you get the money up front. I don't know what that, I mean, that doesn't really mean much.
But they're paying no matter what. It's rain or shine. Unless you close.
That
the
is
court.
correct. That
Unless
is
you
correct.
close. And even if it was rain, if you didn't have the league, if it rained that day, or there, nobody's, even the people that are the pass holders, really not gonna make any money, are not gonna show up. And the other people aren't gonna show up either. Nobody wants to play in the rain unless they absolutely have to. And it's just-
I mean,
they-
we've always
ahead.
we've always discounted it. It's just that meeting that expense number was tough. So it's like, well, should we just be the same as our normal rate? But if we can discount it, we should, because we have in the past.
Well, then,
Hey,
Yes.
Mark,
why don't you just leave them the
Let's
same?
Do the same.
hey, Mark, how
Don't
many,
increase?
Leave with
How
the
many-
green.
I think you should go up a little bit.
Oh,
You should go up a little bit.
I said, go up.
I think the resident, can I say something? The resident should go up to like 18.
Yep.
Resident
Yep.
senior 15. Go up 50 cents.
Correct, yep.
Non-residents, 20, 50,
Maybe,
60.
maybe a
50.
dollar. Maybe do
A dollar, right. 21,
A
21
dollar
and
increase.
17. Yeah, 21 and 17.
$1 all the way around. What the heck's the difference, right? $1, $1. And that way there's still a deal.
It's still a deal. It's a great deal.
Yep, a dollar round. Okay, I'm good with that.
A dollar all the way through, resident, non-resident.
Yep.
That's good because then we probably won't lose any leagues because that's a normal increase.
Okay. Well, that's actually a good point.
I was gonna ask you, how many leagues do you turn down every year? Do you accommodate?
I probably turned down, I don't know, 3 or 4 leagues because there's just no room for them. We just have no room for them.
Okay, because I know some.
But
nights
that's-
we agree.
Yeah, it's a good problem because that just means they come back year after year.
That should dictate what our prices.
Unless we get some lights, Mark.
People down.
Solar, get the solar.
Solar lights on the front 9.
Yeah.
But
All right,
we'll
hold
stick
on.
with the same one.
Here we come.
Hear what he's saying. That, if there's 3 or 4 leagues on the bubble, because they can't get in. I think we lost him again.
Now I'm here.
All right, if there's 3 or 4 on the waiting list. You know what, maybe $1 is not enough to go all the way through. You know what I mean? No.
I mean, do we want to risk losing? Because we don't know if those leagues
I
would
get it.
pay.
It's funny
Yeah.
watching you contradict
No,
yourself.
I just got carried away by what they said. I
He's right.
I mean, I didn't think of it in that respect until they just brought it up. It's like, holy cow, you're right.
It's packed. Some nights
Yeah.
we do 3 and, our busiest night? Do we do 3 or 4 leagues in one night? Right, Mark?
Oh, do we? Yes, there's some Wednesdays we've got like 6 leagues.
Yeah, that's outrageous. Okay, that's my point.
All right, $1.50 all the way through.
So what if we do 119?
Okay.
19,
Yeah, let's do $1.50. So
$1.50 all the way through.
19,
If it's not that,
16, and, non-resident, you want it to go up to that much? Like, you know, that you want it to go up more?
everything's $1.50 all the way
$1.50,
through.
okay. 21.
I mean, that's good because it's still discounted off the regular fee. It's still a discount off the normal fee. So they're getting a break.
Are you breaking a lot of lead over there on that pencil?
Fine,
Because I'm getting a lot of lead rolling over here.
you are.
Where's all this lead coming?
Look at-
I don't know, unless it's snapping and jumping. here.
Graphite, it's not lead, it's graphite.
Sorry.
I had a couple pieces that
Graphite.
broke off.
Going back to the cards, do I have the right number in here?
Yeah, no, the dollar amount's the same. It's just 9% versus 8%. You know what I mean?
So we're just multiplying the per card times 9, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
You got the right number.
Should we look at the, I mean, now that we're Saul goes tomorrow, he can email this all to us, we can digest it a little more.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we can kick it around the next meeting too.
you know, we're saying that, you know, should break even, but at the same time, we're saying, well, you know what, the market can bear this and this and this, so. Listen, if we show a high number there, well, we're assuming
You
that
gotta
we're
s-
gonna see 50,000 minimum in specials. We're
Well, there's some assumptions in there, and that's fine.
absolutely.
But you
So,
still, what do you have now, Saul?
We're at 46.
it
You
is
know,
what it is.
that's fine.
I think if you don't change rates, you're still gonna have a little bit extra.
It is what it is. I mean, personally, I'm okay with that because
Takes
It
into
is what it
account,
is.
you know,
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I agree with everyone where the increase shouldn't be so much to where, one, we price ourselves out, and 2, we can't increase again,
Right,
right? But
maybe a little bit every year.
that was how my mindset when I started this is.
Yeah.
We're gonna increase a little. Just so we don't do the.
Well, listen, the bottom line is that you have a tall task in that the customer experience
Yeah.
has to be, has to
You have to change
improve.
it.
And
It has to improve.
You have to improve it.
the one thing in that budget is not concrete is my payroll.
Right.
My payroll, or not my, the golf department's payroll will be revolving.
But we have a 6-month head start.
We don't know really how much it's gonna cost now that we're taking over staff.
Right.
You're talking about night golf, well, whose staff is staying? That's the town staff staying,
They don't,
right?
now they are.
You're talking about the range, who's picking the range, who's picking it, that's the
Well,
town staff.
that's why I said, you know, you have 25 in there, and then I hope they did their due diligence on this thing. I mean, truthfully. not you.
But,
Like, I
but you
think
know what,
the
though,
budget-
he's right though, because with having that buffer in there, we really don't know what the costs are
What
gonna
if
be.
I have more?
Well, they should have figured this thing out before. No offense,
You're right.
that's your job. I mean, whoever decided to go forward with this, not you, Saul. That's your job. And if you didn't do that, then shame on you, because then you're, you know, someone's gonna be held accountable for it.
Cause we already had a meeting with Kevin and we brought down the number of the budget. It wasn't 152, it was a lot more than that.
Was it really?
It was, and we brought it down. Mark was in that meeting. You know, we talked about, they were putting staff at $20 an hour. We
What-
put him at 16,
Okay,
you know, and that brought it down.
well, the
quite a
fringe is
bit.
the fringe, that's just, you're paying at 16 without fringe. So you still have to pay FICA, right? You still have to pay
Yeah.
FICA, right, so.
But you know, it's, budget is not set, but the one thing that's not really set is payroll.
Got it.
And I get that. We really don't know. This is gonna be the first year that we do this. Like this.
And so what are you gonna do? And so we're agreeing with the rates now, right? We have, Sal, you'll send that out
I'm
tomorrow?
gonna send it,
Well,
well,
that-
will
well,
you do the specials?
Yeah, we still gotta do the publication stuff.
Finish it.
No, let's finish it off, and then,
We're on to publications, right? My chart showing I went up 14, but I'm not sure if the 26 is on the same,
What are public pages?
what publications is like when we get on the CSGA playbook or, no, that's different.
holy smoke, man, that's a huge increase.
Yeah,
Golfing magazine, that's a goal.
That, the $26, is that without card?
Correct. That's without cart.
And
And
so
what's yours?
I'm showing with card,
Oh, got it.
so
Oh, so
All
you're
right.
going 40 with a card.
with,
Okay.
Okay.
So it was 26 without a
Got
card.
it, with card.
40 with a card's a good deal.
That is a good
Yeah,
deal.
we should probably go to probably $50 to $55 total
Card?
between.
45. I just had that email with the CSGA playbook. We were at 40.25 last year,
With a
so
card.
we went to 45.
All right,
Now, what's that? I'm sorry, where are you?
so that 26 is gonna be 45 now?
40 for the rate.
Yeah,
When you 45.
45. And what's Twilight? Twilight includes the card?
Includes.
That number's without the cart. That doesn't include the cart.
Oh, no, Sal says his includes cards.
Oh, no, total cost 33. So 25.75 is without a card, Mark?
You can't take a card?
Yeah, that's without a cart. And then typically you tack on the 9-hole cart fee. So I think it'd probably be a little bit more than 33
33. yeah.
total.
Hey, Mark, on the
Yeah.
golf magazine that I usually get and other players get, they usually give you free greens fee, but then you pay for the cart. How would that work out here with the publications?
It's really up to.
Uh,
what-
I don't think we should do that.
Well, I'm not
That's
gonna, we're gonna say 45. Those are our publication fees this year. If it's-
Yeah.
That's gonna be, we're not consistent with the other courses then.
Card,
Right,
okay.
and I'd like that to be consistent to all the.
45 is still a great deal for 60,
Yeah.
65, 70, yes.
But Peter,
Yeah, so,
that's not consistent with the other courses, the way they charge on the golf magazine. I'm just raising that. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, we're gonna be the outlier.
Keeney, I played Keeney and it included a cart, but it was a fixed fee, but it was like 35 last year, I think it was. From that magazine.
It says for- oh,
That was Keeney. He's closing again.
Right, and it's about all the wording and, the price was around 35, depending on where you play.
The only magazine had the chance to talk to was the CSGA playbook.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to Golfers Magazine, or I think there's the New England magazine. Is that what it is?
yeah, so we'll just put an asterisk here that this number is subject to
That's
change.
why I put 40. To
Yeah.
kind of just average. it
Gotcha.
out, I guess.
Yeah, because if I remember, I paid like around $30, maybe 33 to play Keeney last year,
Walking or riding?
riding.
I wrote that too. It was more than.
Well, you have
it was like
one
35.
coupon, is that just one time? per year?
Right, the one coupon, that's correct, so.
Look,
A lot of times, I've seen a lot of courses,
they don't sign it.
they don't take the coupon.
Right.
Oh, really? I have not signed it.
And they don't.
They won't take the coupon.
I mean,
So this way here, you keep using it.
Oh, yes, that's what I mean. They will sign it, yeah. They want you to come
So now
back.
they want you to come back, so you use it again. So,
I find it hard to believe we're averaging 3,000 rounds of these coupons if they're only using it once.
that's right,
Right. there's-
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot of books, huh?
Hey, you know what? We could have been doing the same thing, but I mean, that's
I mean,
3,200 rounds is 3,200 rounds.
yeah.
Yeah,
but
We were
it-
charging $45 last year. 100% were
With the cart, right?
for 18 with a car. Yeah.
Coupon, right?
With the coupon. Yeah.
That's what you want.
Did,
that's what he
did,
wants
did
to
we
do this year.
physically take the coupons every time?
No, I don't think so.
There you go. So,
So he's gonna do the same thing.
Well, if,
But we were charging $45.
so then 45,
45,
so then we can go up to 50. Easy.
That's what I'm saying. I think we could go up.
Okay,
Okay.
But Sebby's saying no.
if we go up, that means.
Hey,
We also have to,
I-
get the
I know
coupon.
how you doing, Roche?
One-time use, right? I mean, you can't use a coupon 5 times and get a membership out of it, right? Like, I mean, they're already getting a good deal.
You know, it means you have to, well,
Yeah, but those guys.
put it this way, you're taking care of that now, right? You're taking the money,
Yeah,
Yes.
so you'll.
so
Yeah.
they
So
won't be using it in 5 times.
it's your process, yeah.
Yeah,
Those people who use the specials, they're not.
That number is gonna go down to 1,000.
That is, you're right, Mark.
Just saying, and I don't think they're gonna come play with the regular rate, but I'm just, maybe they will.
Is there a point where it's excessive, like 2, all right, 3, great, 5,
Well, you know what? Nothing that says you can't put a little tick mark
that's right.
that's fair.
Mhm.
or a little stamp, a little,
Huh?
a little,
I'll let you come back one more time, and that's it.
That's it.
As long as, like,
And that-
as long as we're happy with the price. I mean, if it's $30, I'm not willing to do it 5 times,
No,
Mhm.
if it's 50,
or, somewhere around
45
there.
is fair. I think 45.
well, if it was 45 last year, they're getting new carts.
This was-
I think it should go to 50. That's what I think.
yeah.
That's gonna bump up.
You're right, yeah.
Here we go, see?
This is what we Come down with the cart. Cart.
Yeah, I said that. What are you gonna do with the money?
That's gonna be a conversation that I need to have with, a road.
So do you overspend your budget to buy equipment? Do you vote CIP? I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? Do you hire more people to come in to? More kids? Are you limited on the amount of kids you can hire over the summer?
Hey, you know what? I say you transfer some money into
Reserve.
into CIP and take care of the golf and take care of the range day one with that. That's what I say, because it's not gonna cost you $55,000. Okay, but this is what we're budgeting. This is what we anticipate to make. We're pretty close every year. And so let's transfer some money into the drive range day one, and then we could
And
charge.
see some of the improvements that are coming, and no one's gonna complain about it. You know?
So what about the twilight?
Twilight, you said, what did you say? What did you say about Twilight?
It's 25.75.
That's without a cart. So you add the 9-hole cart in there, and then you can play as many holes as they want, right? That's after 4 o'clock.
Is everyone good with that, or?
Is that kinda high? I think that's kind of high.
Like, how about 22.50?
Or you went up,
Off $1 on it?
$23.
yeah, I would go up buck and a half. at the most.
$23, very nice and round.
$3? Go up to $3?
$3, buck and a half, it's done.
Buck and a half, yeah.
That's right. 23.
Yeah, junior, make that, 19 and 12, how's that? And
Yep,
it's peanuts in the whole scheme of things. You're still showing a profit.
Yeah, we're at 40,000.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's perfect.
23, what, 15?
Just
And-
20.
And let's ask for some money for you to do the golf range day
Yeah.
one.
that's right. That'd be a great idea.
Certainly make the max last longer.
All right, so Saul, can you print these all, or send them tomorrow to everybody? Or to me, and I'll give them whatever.
So, yeah, I mean, I think Peter has a good point here. And that, how are you gonna? You listen, if you show that kind of profit, throwing it back to the general fund is foolish.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right, because that's never the intent here to make money and throw back, that was never the intent, so. How do we have that conversation that I put more money into the range fund, even half, or whatever.
Well,
We're basically budgeting for this.
That's right, and you say to yourself, set up a reserve with any profits that I have.
but hopefully the town is gonna be in charge of the range.
They are.
So they might be,
Okay, so
so they might be more conducive. to
what are you gonna do?
improving it.
Maybe clue me in, right? Like, where has the profits been going?
General fund.
General fund, it was just.
So
foolishness.
was it just by luck we got some general fund for those trucks or?
No, it was.
No, you gave them back
Listen,
$150,000.
oh, here you go, here's, take some money back. You
Right.
know, take some, here's what we're doing for you, from your profit. Well, we paid for those things because we didn't spend the money in the first place. If we'd have spent our whole budget. And then they came back and bought the dump truck and the Kubota, that's different.
That's giving it to us, yeah.
But we did not, I don't, it's not that we had a profit, we just didn't spend.
That
not spending the money that
There's a difference there.
was also mentioned by Mr. Perez.
Who?
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, Paris,
Is
yeah.
it Paredes?
Paredes, Paredes, yeah.
He's in the board of finance.
Finance, the board of finance.
I mean, municipalities, don't spend the budget, just because, it's like, why am I gonna pay some other guy, come on, that doesn't know how to control their money? Because I'm saying, I'm gonna, tighten my belt and do this and do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So you have to be able, the conversations you need to have, truthfully, are one, transfer money into the CIP, so you can at least take care of the range now, not all of it, but a chunk of it. And the other chunk into a reserve, because the intent here is never to show a profit, it's to break even.
That's right.
And that has been said time and time again, we are not a profit center, we are here to break even.
So we have to-
Well, guess what? So I have an excess of funds, so do I give it back? The answer is no. You never give it
To
back.
be quite honest with you, we didn't go up enough. To where we're not pricing ourselves out of the market by any means.
No,
But if they come back and say, well, why aren't you lowering all the prices? Because we won't be able to accommodate, the golf course will have so many rounds. Because we'll be cheaper than everybody else and we'll end up paying the piper.
maintaining of it's gonna kill you.
Mhm.
And the question, truthfully, is gonna be, you have problems with bunkers, you have problems with fairway, and how you gonna maintain those? I mean, and really, I'm not saying that you don't know. But you're gonna, if you see pins and fabric in the bunkers, you got a problem. Right there. And someone's. God forbid, someone's gonna get hurt, and and I'm gonna tell you, even with the sprinklers, there's
holes in the ground.
there's issues, and they've known about it. And so you have workers, you've got, workers' comp and unemployment compensations that they're on the hook for this, because there will be lawsuits, I can guarantee you there will be lawsuits. So, I mean, Saul, you got your hands full.
I want everyone to,
I'm not scared,
I want everyone to keep all these, course improvements in mind, because I'm gonna put it on the agenda. For our next meeting, just so I can get food in faster.
And what to look for while you're out there.
Correct.
We see everything.
Well, keep it in mind, it's not for tonight. It's for next meeting.
And if I were you, Saul, too, once in a while. Like schedule a ride around with Jim, a ride around with Jim, a ride around with me, a ride around with Nancy.
Not.
All right. I'm gonna save him for last. I'm gonna save him for last because he's gonna take the longest.
Smile, smile, let me say a smile.
So that's why he's got the mascot.
Leon speaks.
Peter,
Yes,
Peter,
yes,
are we meeting on the 19th?
we are, yes, we are meeting, as we are meeting as scheduled, yeah, a week from when?
Today.
Okay, yeah,
A week
yeah.
from, next week.
Next week,
Correct.
so.
Yep.
So Saul, if you can do us a favor and email that, we'll all digest a little more, and then next week, it's absolute final,
Oh,
okay?
done.
But shouldn't we keep them, if the money being put towards the golf course, shouldn't that money stay with the golf course, all that money stay?
Well, you know
at
what?
all
Jim,
times?
that's what we're talking about.
Send it for reserve.
Exactly,
And Sal, Saul, I hope that's where you're gonna help us out, because we've
Right.
truly trying for years. We get a lot of people, and Arosh has been saying, yes, you're right, this is what we should be doing, but it hasn't changed.
We gotta get some-
So I'm kind of like looking at you to go in there and make this fight for us.
Well, I could tell you that Arosha is a big proponent of doing that, that I know.
I've heard that,
I don't know.
but it hasn't
like,
changed, Jack.
I don't know
Well-
where a lot of your conversations and requests have gone in years past. But just know from now on, it goes into some, you know, it goes to me and I'm gonna do something with
It's
it,
not
so.
that fair than.
Like, I can't promise you everything, but at least the conversations will be had.
That's all we asked for.
That's right.
All right, we good?
Motion to adjourn.
So.
Motion to adjourn, seconded by Nancy, all in favor?
Uh,
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone out in Zoom land. Appreciate it. We'll see you
Yep.
next Thursday. Have a good
Mark,
weekend.
hang in there.
It looks like we have space.
Well, that was pretty.